to deal with money in some way every single day. That's number one. Where I was rooted in this story and where this became my calling was how I grew up and how money affected my life. It created, quite frankly, a great deal of trauma for me. But you're the youngest of 6 children, young lady, and never had it, right? And so I grew up with a single mom, and there was just a shortage at all times. So we would get evicted, our phones would get disconnected, our lights would be turned off. There was a time we were living in an abandoned building, and I could go on and on and on. Really traumatic when you're a child. Because when you're a child, you have no control. You can't go get a job. There's nothing you can do. On top of that, I had a mother who was incredible in so many ways, but made really bad money decisions. And that was hard to watch even as a child. And I kept thinking, this isn't a good idea. So my mom would buy Easter dresses instead of paying the rent bill. I had that mother. Yeah, because Easter dresses, everybody gets
promising to give you. Okay, to you. Okay. Hey, y'all. I'm trying to see if I could, like, oh, wait, why am I doing that as if I don't have a, can y'all see my t-shirt? Onlyphones.com has sent me this t-shirt in exchange for promotion and taking pictures with it. So since I've done all that, I decided that I come on here and do a little chit chat / story time, telling y'all about all of the weird phone calls I've had ever since I was a PSO from 2019 up until now. And there was some pretty weird phone calls, I should say. Definitely. Okay, you don't want to make it too bright, but you want to make it a little, okay, that's good enough. So, yeah. And I have put some notes on my phone because I do ramble and all that. So, from 2019 up until now, I've had some pretty weird, disturbing, funny, unforgettable, embarrassing type calls, is if you want to say. Okay, hold on. Okay, so these are like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so ever since I've done this from 2019 to now, I've had 20 weird, unforgettable phone calls. I'm pretty sure I probably had more, but I talked to so many men. I can't necessarily remember every single phone call because I talked to so many men, but these top 20 phone calls, I specifically remember them because either they were like really funny to me or either really disturbing. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with number 1. Okay, number 1. Customer. These are either really funny or disturbing. The first one is funny. So number 1. Customer wanted to hear me grunt as if I was pooping. And I can't remember what year that I'm assuming that phone call took place probably in 2021 or 2022 because I'm pretty sure that was after the panoramic. Um, so I had one customer, he called me and he said, yeah, I just want you to use the bathroom. And normally when guys say that, they just mean they just want to hear you pee. Because some guys have a pee fetish. So they just want to hear you, do number one. That's kind of like the most common one everyone gets. But this guy was like, no, I don't really care for number one. I want you to do number two. And I want to hear it drop in the toilet too. He was like, I want to hear it drop. I want to hear it. And then on top of that, I want to get you grunt. I want you to really get into it. I want you to like take a laxative and just really do it. And I was like, okay, I could take a laxative, but laxative technically is not going to work until another 6 to 12 hours. And he was like, I don't know, just do it, just do it, like just grunt and let me hear it go on the toilet. And so yeah, so the more and the more I sat up there and it was like, like the more he heard me grunt, the more aroused he got. Yeah, so the more I grunted and the more I pretended to drop deuces in the toilet, the more aroused he got, and the more I heard him more heavily and start talking more fast. He got to where he finished. So yeah, that's number one. Okay, weird, weird phone call number two. Customer wanted me to play the customer wanted me to play the piano and cry. So this guy, he asked me, did I have a piano? He asked me, he said, do you have a piano? And technically, no, I don't have a piano, but I do have a laptop and I have a few websites that I know of where I could create beats. And, the piano is one of the instruments that I know how to play, but except I was playing it on the laptop. Like I was playing it on the computer. I found it's this website called Soundtrack. It's a website called soundtrack.com where you can play different instruments. And so he says, I want you to play the piano and cry. Like I want you to just press the keys like doom, doom, and just wail and just like bawl your eyes out. I want to hear it. And I'm like, okay. But then in my head, I'm like, I'm wondering why exactly this guy is into this. Like, what is it that makes you into a woman crying while she's sitting at a piano, just pressing really hard on the random keys? What is it that gets you? I, but like I said, these calls are very weird and funny and disturbing, some of them. So yeah, basically he was like, I'm gonna give you an example. He was like, I want you to just press on the keys and just Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Like, just act like you were going through something, and I'm like, "That was weird. That was really weird." Um, so yeah. Uh, so customer number 3. Mm. Customer number 3, he wanted to hear me smoke. Now, I've heard that this was a common, um I've heard that this was a common fetish, like, where some guys want to see you smoke and also hear you, like, inhale and exhale, like, some guys find that attractive to see a female smoking a cigarette or either smoking, a joint. For whatever reason, they find that, like, really attractive, that turns them on. So, I had this one guy call me, I think this was back in 2021. I don't know. I had a lot of weird calls in 2020 and 2021. And I had some weird calls in 2023. But I don't know what was up with those years, but those I have weird phone calls. So, what is this number 3? So yeah, he called me and he called me and he was like, yeah, just I want I do you smoke? And he was like, "Yeah, roll up with me, roll up." And I was like, "Okay, then I'm rolling up," but I'm obviously faking, pretending I'm not really smoking. So he's like, "Roll up, yeah, 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 get it together, whatever." And so it was like, "All right, I'm gonna light mine. You gonna light yours? I'm gonna light mine." So he's lighting his up, and I'm like lighting mine up, supposedly lighting mine up. And so he's like, "You ready? You ready? I want to hear you inhale. I want to hear you inhale now. You ready?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'm ready." And so he was like, so I had to like deeply, and he was like, "Yeah, F yeah, F yeah, I like that." And so yeah, that he got off to that. He got off to me smoking, inhaling and exhaling that turned him on. Why? I don't know. It just did. I don't know where half these guys' fetishes come from. I really don't. I don't know where half of their fetishes come from at all. Okay. And then number 4. So I had a guy call me and he's like, "I just want you to laugh." And I'm like, and so he's like, "Yeah, yeah, just like that, just like that." Mm. So he's like, "I want to hear you laugh." That was funny. Number 5, I had a guy. Okay, so I had one guy. He actually called me. So some of these guys I only heard from once. But some of these guys did call back over and over. Number 5 is one of those guys that actually called back. Uh, uh, Number 5 is actually one of those guys that called back multiple times, maybe at least 5 times, I want to say. So this one guy, he called me. This boy, I guess I could call him a client since he called back more than 3 times. So this one client, he called me and he would just tell me about his experiences going out of the country, like going to Jamaica, going to anywhere in the Caribbeans, anywhere in the Caribbeans, South America, Africa, any country in Africa. He would just tell me about his experiences and how he would um, go out with his wife and they would kind of venture off of the resort that they were at, or they would find like young black muscular men on the resort or off the resort, wherever they were, so that they could have fun with his wife. And he would pay them, he would offer them a certain amount of money in exchange of, telling them, hey, if I pay you $1,000, or if he would say something like, hey, if I pay you 500 or maybe 200 USD, which probably is a lot of money in their dollars, whatever their dollars are, it's a lot of money compared to our money. He would pay them like 250 to 500, like, hey, I'm gonna give you 250, 500, and I really want you to sleep with my wife, and I want to be there in the watch. I'm gonna be in the corner. I'm gonna be in the corner stroking it, and I just want to watch you. And he would just tell me like how basically he was a color code, and he would call back over and over and tell me about different times that he went out of the country to a Caribbean country or like an African country, or he would tell me about all the countries, all the black countries he'd been to, and how he scoped out these young muscular black men to sleep with his wife, and how he enjoyed that because he would say, yeah, my cock is so little and I can't please my wife the way I want to, so I would rather go out of the country and pay these guys little to nothing because our money goes a long way over there anyway, and I just want to pay them off to watch them have fun with my wife, and that's not making me have fun as well. So yeah, that was number 5. Okay, number 6. Okay, number 6. Okay, so I had a customer, and this guy also called me a few times too. I think he called me at least 3 times as well. So this customer, client, I should call him a client because he called me 3 times. He said that he had a girlfriend. He had a girlfriend that cheated on him in the past, and I guess he was a cuck the whole time. He was a cuck and didn't know it, because he said that when his girlfriend cheated, he got mad at first, but he said that I got mad, but then I got turned on. And I was like, okay, so you wanted to cuss her out and go beat her ass and beat his ass, but then you felt a little tingly feeling once you figured out what was going on. He was like, yeah, I figured out that I was a cuck. I was mad at her for cheating on me, but then I liked it. And he said that he called his girlfriend on the phone one day, and she said that she was eating, and because her lips were like smacking, like basically she was like, hey, babe. And he was like, oh, babe, what you doing? And she was like, just out with my friends eating food. And so he was like, what are you eating? You're smacking really loud. And she was like, oh, yeah, it was really good. And so he said, he was like, well, who are you with? She was like, oh, I'm out with some friends. And so he said that he heard like some grunting sounds in the background, sounded like a deeper voice, a masculine voice. And so he was like, he got kind of skeptical. And he said, I know she was cheating on me. I just know she was cheating on me. And so he realized he was a cuck, and then he called my phone and was like, yeah, reenact that. I just I just I just want to role play and have you act like you're my girlfriend, and then I just want you to I just want you to be sucking on, this guy, and then I'm gonna call you, and then you're gonna just pretend like you're not doing anything. And then I'm gonna be like, baby, are you cheating on me? You better not be cheating on me. And then I was supposed to act like, no, babe, no, 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 I'm not, no, I'm not. But yeah, that was his thing. Like he like that. Like he called me multiple times so that I could pretend to be his girlfriend and he can hear me cheat on him. And I'm just sitting there lying and saying I'm not cheating on him. So yeah. Let me see. Is that number 6? Okay, so let me see. Number 7. Okay, and I remember it like it was yesterday. This number 7 was 2023 because I remember I was outside walking in the neighborhood at my mama's house in my mama's neighborhood. I was outside walking, getting my exercise on, and I forgot to log off. I had forgot to log off, and I got a call while I was walking, but luckily nobody was outside or anything. So I took the call. Nobody was near me and no one was outside. So I took the call. This guy and he talked to me one like some of these guys call one time with weird requests and I never hear from him again. And others like the last two, number 5 and number 6, I heard from them at least 3 more times. Now, number 7, he called me and I never heard from him again. So number 7 basically called me and he said, he said, what he was asking me a bunch of political questions. He was like Obama or Trump, Kamala or Trump, Biden or Trump. And I'm like, what? I said, well, I'm not political. I don't get into that. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? And he said, what do you think about trans? I don't think about them. And so he said, are you Republican or Democrat? And I'm like, independent. And so then he said, do you think guns should be banned or no? And I said, I don't know. It depends. It's 50-50. I said, a part of me believes they should, but then another part of me believes no because of self-defense. And so I answered his questions and he hung up. Weird. That was number 7. And let's see, number 8. This one kind of pissed me off. But I kind of fed into it only because I was getting paid. But other than that, I would have really told him how I really felt. Number 8, it was a Hispanic guy. He called me and he wanted me to tell him how much better he is than black men. Like he called me and he was like, I want you to tell me that I look better than black men and how much better I am than black men and how much you prefer me over a black man. I'm like, you know what? I'm getting paid, so I'll do it. I'll give into your little fetish, your little, whatever it is that you into, but in real life, I don't feel that way. I love me a black man. I'm with a black man, so I just did that for the money. But other than that, like in real life, that's not how I really feel. Yeah, that was a weird call. That was number 8. Let me see. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9 was funny. Okay, so number 9. One guy, he called to confess that his wife was a manipulative narcissist. He said it made him think. He said that his wife made him think that he was a nasty pervert for watching porn. His wife would catch him watching porn and say, "You nasty pervert," and she would make him think that uh, she would make him think that he was wrong for getting hard over certain things. And he said he would say, "Oh, I'm just being a man. This is what men do." And he said that sometimes him and his wife they go out to different lounges and clubs, not like chitty club, I guess like adult clubs where grown people go to, and his wife would get back at him for watching porn, and she would dance with other men to try to make him jealous. That's what he would do. That's what she would do to make him jealous to get back at him because he was watching the little porn on the computer and the phone. And so that's what she would do to get back at him. And so, um, and he just would call. I think he called me more than one time as well. He would just call me just to tell me about how he um just he low key was getting turned on by his wife talking down on him, like, "Oh, you nasty ass pervert, you nasty pedo, yo motherfucking anything." Like he was kind of jacking off to her, belittling him, I guess, in a way. And so, yeah, that was number 9. Yeah. Okay. Number 10. Okay, so number 10. I had a actual sex offender call me to confess everything that he has done in his past and everything that led him to getting imprisoned. Actual an actual sex offender called my phone just to let me know that he said that he was disappointed in the justice system because he has gotten caught so many times and he has gotten let out very fast. And he feels like he should not have been let out at all the first few times because he would get I think when you get caught you get put in jail for like a day or two and then you get out and you have to I guess pay a ticket or bond whatever. But you pretty much get in and out pretty fast. Like it's kind of like a slap on the wrist of the first few times. And also he was a white man, so he had gotten plenty of slaps on the wrist up until he got himself up until he was a I can't re 'cause I don't really know any I don't know any sex offenders personally, so I don't know how the system works, but basically he got himself up into the highest point of the sex offender registry, like to the max. So basically he got himself to where he has to report where he lives at least once a year. Like, he can't be anywhere near a school or a playground, daycare. He can't live in certain neighborhoods. Uh, he can't even live certain places unless it's like a private landlord that just doesn't care and which may be like a shitty area. So Um, basically, he was just telling me that each time he went to jail and got this little slap on the wrist, he did not learn his lesson. He just got mad that he got caught. He did not care about what he did in front of girls or girls, boys, teenagers, high schoolers, middle schoolers, whoever, even adult women. Like, he did not care about what he did. He was not remorseful at all. Still to this day, he has told me still to this day that he is not remorseful. He doesn't care. But he just does not want to go back to prison because he said next time, I think he will be in prison for life because he's been in and out of jail so many times to the point where if he goes back, it's like, we don't know what to do with you. So he has told me that he has been taken. Like what did he say? I haven't talked to him in over a year, but he said that he was taking some type of estrogen pills. Like what if a sex offender gets to a certain point, they make them take medication to control their testosterone and their horniness. So he is forced to take these medications. He is forced to be he is forced to report his every location. He's tracked. He's forced to take these estrogen medication. He is forced to yeah, he's basically just kind of very they got a tight hold on him basically since he's gotten away with it too many times. But he basically he's just mad that he got caught and wished that he would be sneakier. And he said that if he did not go to jail for life the next time, he would be out doing more stuff, basically. And he said that there were some um kids playing in the neighborhood that he lives in now. And he looks out his window and he does what he does, and he's still not remorseful. And he just explained to me that a lot of guys that uh, rape women or sex offenders or who are just pedos, a lot of guys who are like that, they do not care. You can take them to jail or put them in prison or give them a ticket or whatever. They will take the punishment, but they still desire to do what they want to do. They still desire to have what they want to have and do what they want to do, even though they know it's illegal and wrong. They don't care. They just care that they got caught. But if they never got caught, they will still keep going. And some of them will get out of jail and still do the same exact with no mercy and no remorse and no care. Okay. So I think that was number 10. But yeah. Um okay. On my phone acting weird. Okay, there we go. Okay. Number 11. Okay, so number 11. I had a guy call me. Now this was on like a little chat. This was a chat line that I used to work on. This was a chat line that I was on. Um, and I told the guy I kind of lied about my description on this chat line. I said that because the chat line, you don't have any pictures or any like any video or pictures. It's just your voice. So I kind of lied on the chat line. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm a white girl and I weigh 120 pounds and I'm a brunette, basically. And so I had a guy call me on the chat line and he was like, oh baby, how do you look? And I told him how I look, and he was like, "Oh, how much do you weigh?" And I'm like, "I'm 120." And he was like, "Oh, hmm, I want you to lose like 25 pounds." I was like, "You want me to lose 25 pounds? I just told you I was 120. Like that's my fake weight. That's my character's weight, 120." And so he's like, yeah, that'd be sexy if you were like 95 pounds. And I'm like, "That- that's anorexia." All right, so number 11. Number 11, I had one guy call me asking me to get breast implants, despite me already having big titties. He said, what size are your tits? I'm like triple D. I'm like 40 triple D. And he said, "Mm, have you ever wanted some E's or F's?" And I said, "No, not really." Do you like that? You like big tits like that? You like big bimbo, huge, humongous tits that stick out like that? He was like, yeah, 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 yeah. I love that. I like my girls to have big bimbo, like obvious plastic surgery tits, and I want it to stick out like this, and I want it all that. Like, yeah, I'll pay for it. He was serious. He was like, I'll pay for it. And then I'm like, you gonna pay for me to get a F size breast? And he was like, yeah, like I'll pay for it. How much it costs? And I'm like, I would send him my cash app just so I can get the money, but he was talking about like flying me out and he wanna see it, stuff like that. But yeah. Mm, yeah. Okay. But that was number 11, so this is number 12. Let's see, got one. Okay, so number 12 called me plenty of time. Basically, number 12 wanted me to actually go to a grocery store and find a random guy to give a blowjob to. And he wanted to hear like the blowjob. He wanted to hear me just walking down the aisle in the store, driving in my car. He just wanted to hear the whole experience. And so um yeah, so I basically like pretended to go like I opened my door and I pretended like I played a video on YouTube, like grocery store sounds on YouTube. And I was like, yeah, I'm in the grocery store, I'm in the store. And so I played like grocery store ambiance. And so I was like, yeah, I'm trying to find a guy to give a blowjob to. And so yeah, the whole time he would call me and he would think that I was in the grocery store, but the whole time I was home playing YouTube videos with grocery store sounds. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna find out. I see this one, just lying the whole time. Just lying the whole time. But yeah, that was number 12. Okay, number 13. I had a guy call me and he wanted me to describe changing his diapers. Hmm. Number 14, I had a guy call me and he said that he loves to be tickled with feathers and he's very ticklish. And he actually comes when women tickle the bottom of his feet. Number 15. Okay. A guy wanted me to pretend that I was a wrestler and that I forced him to give me a job and some money. Okay, I remember this guy. So this guy was obsessed with muscular, bigger built type of women, and he wanted me to pretend that I came into his office and I was like, "Give me a job right now, or I'm gonna throw you across the desk." Whatever. And so he wanted me to pretend that I was like this bigger built muscular woman that's gonna just throw him across the desk and just manhandle him and like, give me your money, give me your money, give me a job, like give me this, and you better give me a raise too, and you better da 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 da. So yeah, he got off to that. He definitely got off to that. All right, number 16. I remember this guy. Okay, number 16. This was my phone star days, y'all. This was my phone star days. So this guy would call me on phone stars, and he would talk about. He told me that he was a veteran. I think he was in the army, and he would just tell me all about his experiences when he was a young boy and what him and his friends would do, and yeah, he would just call and reminisce about his younger days and stuff. hmm And I really didn't talk back. He was one of those guys that was really, he was a really long-winded. So I didn't really talk. He was doing all the talking. He was doing all the talking. And I was just like, wow, really? Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow. So, yeah. Let me see. Was it number 17? Okay, let me see. Oh yeah, I had one guy. He called me. One guy had called me, and he was like, he told me that he was on black market websites, and that he was a PE coach at a high school. He said he was on a black market website and that he is a PE coach at high school. And he said that he records himself doing things and people pay him for it. And that's how he gets the majority of his money. And he offered to fly me out so that I could help him. Yeah. And obviously I declined. So yeah, I think what we're on number 19. Number 19. Um yeah. Okay, so let me see, number 19. So I had a guy call me. Yeah. I had a drunk guy call me and he didn't know. He didn't know what he wanted. I remember this guy was like, "Oh yeah, goddess, mistress, I love you so much." And then he switched to like, "Yeah, you effing cunt, you little slut, get on here." And he didn't know whether he wanted to be dominant or submissive. So the whole phone call, we're bouncing back and forth from him being submissive and me being dominant. I'm like, and it doesn't really help that I am a switch. So with me being a switch, it makes it I was just bouncing around the whole phone call, just bouncing around. Yeah, that was crazy. Um, yeah, last but not least, number 20. Um, I had a guy call me and he kept putting me on hold. So I guess he had family in the house and he was like, "Oh yeah, baby, hold on, baby, hold on." And he was like, he kept asking me about like my college and what school I went to and what I'm going to school for. And then he was like, "Hold on." He kept putting me on 5 minute holds. And majority of the phone calls were me being on hold. Like I was just like, I mean, okay, if you like it, I love it. I mean, I'm the one that's getting paid for sitting on the phone, you know. I'm loving it. But yeah, but yeah, those are my top 20 um weird phone calls that I've had since 2019 up until now. I'm pretty sure more weird phone calls are coming my way, and I'm here for it. But by now, honestly, there's nothing new under the sun for me. I've heard it all. I think I've heard it all. Guys called me with so many weird requests. I don't even think I've had guys call me and confess to be a sex offender. I've had guys call me and tell me that they were locked up. I've had guys call me and ask me to use the bathroom, walk in high heels. I've had guys tell me to that they were serial killers and that they had like bodies that were on the news, and I'm like, it was just too much for me, so I ended up blocking them because I'm like, dude, you ain't finna make me no accessory to your crimes. Like, they're not finna pull your phone calls and he's like, "Oh yeah, he was talking to this girl and yeah, she told him to go ahead and do this." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't even know this guy." But I don't think there's anything that will shock me. And then, oh, another thing, I forgot. I had one guy that said that he got turned on by women that got into car accidents. God forbid. Okay, because he said that he got turned on by girls that got into accidents. And he just loved to see them, like, especially the especially if they wore like dresses and high heels during the accident. And he, yeah, basically, he got turned on by it. Yeah, there's nothing that will shock me. There's no phone call that I believe that I will get that will make me, because I've heard it all. Majority of the time I've heard it all. I've already heard it all. Majority of the time I've already heard it all. So yeah, um Yeah, I got my little onlyphones.com t-shirt sent in the mail by onlyphones.com. They chose me to help with their promotion since I am a high earner on their website. And I hope to get plenty of more free products from them. And so, yeah, those are my top 20 weird phone calls that I have gotten from PSO since I was a PSO from 2019. Um, for the past 6 years. Oh my goodness, 6 years. So yeah, that's my experiences, and I'm gonna come back with another topic. And this topic will probably be about Black webcam modeling and like the challenges we face with webcam modeling while being Black, and my thoughts and opinions on things like that. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. All right. Bye.